Every single day we seem to be inundated, like literally flooded with news and alerts and notifications about new startups and new research and new developments and new products and optimizations and technologies and all of these things that are supposed to make life or work or relationships or health or anything better. Constantly. Millions of dollars, billions of dollars even, being spent on these developments. And some of these products are great. Some of these products sound interesting. These insights are interesting. But you know what the one thing I'm yet to see anyone come out with? A second brain. How can we give ourselves a second brain? And I've been thinking about that a bit because obviously the immediate answer is, we can use our phones as a second brain. But obviously I'm not talking about doing that because I'm all about presence. I'm all about creating presence and connection with the world around you, and that can be dangerous to use your phone for that. And it's not about putting in place, new technologies or new apps or features or whatever to allow us to do more or store more or do anything else like that. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not how we create a second brain. And I was thinking about it a lot, and I thought, how would I create a second brain? Well, we can't do that, obviously. But how can I optimize my own brain so that it's like I've given myself a second brain? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. 3 simple steps, 3 simple ideas, notions that I've been developing and I've been researching to help me to create that second brain in my head, to help me change how I see the world and interact with it. So let's get into it. Repeat after me. Your brain is for insight, not for storage. For some reason, we treat our brain like an external hard drive. We just fill it up with stuff. Plug it in and download all the content and information you can. It's always on, it's always plugged in, it's always downloading. That's how we treat it. Like that storage facility. And we just dump stuff in there constantly. So there's little wonder that we feel stretched, we feel overworked, we feel burnout, we feel anxiety, like all of those things, because we're just chucking stuff in there. You could use the analogy of like eating a lot of food. If you ate a lot of junk food, then your body would start to break down. You couldn't do that long term. And yet we do the same thing with our brain. We just cram it full of junk food all of the time. So much unnecessary stuff. And we never think of pulling back. We never think of taking away. We always add. And it's because we don't see our brain for what it's actually for. It's to deliver those insights. It's to help us. It's the greatest tool, the greatest app, the greatest device, whatever you want to call it, that we could ever possess and that we do ever possess. It's our most important piece of technology, biological technology. And yet we don't treat it in that way. So this is the first thing I want you to think about, the first step. Recite that mantra. Treat your brain like the tool that it is, not the storage facility, not the external hard drive to just fill up. I've spoken in some of my other videos about some of the negative sides of doing that. And they're there. And I'm sure you feel them. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why you're watching this video. But start to make that simple shift in perspective. Start to shift away from seeing your brain as just something to fill up, a sponge to soak up everything around you, to being an actual tool for insight, a companion on this journey that is life, because that's what it is. That voice in your head is not you. It really isn't. I had a conversation with my daughter the other day where she was talking about listening to the voice in her head. And I said, that's not you. And she goes, well, who is it? And we started to play this game where we created this imaginary personality and this persona for her brain. So often we think that that voice is us, that it's us talking to ourselves. And that leads to so many problems. It leads to negative self-talk and doubt, and we second guess ourselves, and it's not actually us. Think about that voice like an external person. It's there to challenge, to offer another perspective, to caution, to warn. But it's not you. You can listen to what it's saying, and often it's very, very worthwhile to do so. It's very astute. And it's often that feeling, that internal feeling that you can't shake, but it is warning you sometimes, and we do have to listen. But you don't have to listen all the time. Think of your brain or that voice in your head as a trusted advisor. Take on as much of the advice as you feel is right, but you don't have to take it all on, especially when it starts to shift into negativity. Imagine if you had another person in your life who was always talking you down. You would cut that person out of your life. You wouldn't have anything to do with them. You would put in place systems and processes so you didn't have to deal with that person anymore. And yet, because we view that voice in our head as ourselves, we listen to it all the time. And it can be dangerous. But make that little shift. Give it a name. Give that voice a name. Give it a persona, like I did with my daughter. And own that. Think of it as constructive criticism. Think of it as support, of celebration, of warning, whatever it is. But just know that it's not you talking. It's someone else. And you don't always have to listen to them. And the third tip is about closing open loops. This is really important, and it's something I've spoken about in other videos. If we take on too many open tasks, if we carry around too many open tasks in our life, it makes us really tired. It leads to anxiety, it leads to stress. We may not realize it, but every time we don't complete a task, no matter how big or no matter how small, it stays with us. We carry around that neurological debt. It's always waiting there in the background, beneath the surface, ready to rise up. And you may not be aware of it. It may come back in a day's time, it may come back in a week's time, it may come back in a year's time. But not closing those things off, not moving them away, dealing with them. And that doesn't mean finishing them, by the way, closing them off. Acknowledging them, calling them out, acknowledging that you can't finish it, putting it to bed, putting that full stop in on them. You can do that. So make sure that in your life, as you go through your day, as you go through your week, and these tasks start to mount up and then slip away, finish them off, close them off. Because that neurological debt is a real thing. And if you've ever experienced the sensation of trying to rest, trying to relax, and just not being able to switch off, that's because you have all these open loops in your life. So be aware of this. Don't carry around that unnecessary load, because you don't have to. That's why a lot of the time I talk about being intentful and re-entering your life with activity, being action orientated, taking those steps, those positive steps, being in charge as you re-enter your life. Because a lot of the systems I've found that help you to redesign your life require you to take those active steps, to take away, to close things off, to really be aware of the whole picture. And I know at first it can seem a little bit overwhelming. It's a big change to the way you may have been living for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. But you can change it. I promise you that you can change it. It's never too late to make these changes. Even just one small change can make a huge difference. I know that. I've seen that in my own life. I've seen it in my kids' life, with my partner. All of these things, one small change can make a huge difference. So don't discount yourself. Don't just listen to that voice in your head and accept what it says. Close off those loops and treat your brain as the tool that it really is. Because you can create the life that you want to live. You don't have to have your life dictated to you or feel like it's running away from you. Take those active steps. Re-enter your life. I hope you found today's video helpful. If you have, please like, subscribe down below. Leave me a thought about some of the challenges you've faced in doing this, some of the loops that you hadn't closed off. But thank you for your time. I'll see you again in the next video. Stay present, everyone.